Welcome to the Sports Show. Hope you're staying warm. Mike Max, Patrick Ricey, Trent Tucker in this week, and Sid Hartman. Sid,
yes,
how are you?
I'm okay.
As they came to a close, the Winter Olympics, something near and dear to you every 4 years. Give us some veteran perspective on this year's games.
Ricey's the expert on Olympics. He's been to most all the Olympics.
Not all of them.
I watch the hockey. I watch.
Did you get up early and watch some of those games?
Huh?
Did you get up early and watch some of those hockey games?
Yeah. I thought I couldn't understand that United States losing that game to Finland 5-1.
5-0.
That was brutal. I don't know. United States hockey is not that good.
Well,
Finland, Sweden. I mean, beating them.
Who are these countries?
Huh?
Yeah. Patrick, do you think they should go back to amateurs? Does it matter?
I think they will in Korea in 4 years, and then the next time it's in North America, the NHLers will go back. But no, I think it was fun. It was great. It's great. You know, the U.S. only loses 1-0 to Canada. They obviously didn't show up the next day. They didn't care much about that bronze, but you know, the hockey was fun, and there was a couple other things. But I think the most interesting thing to me the whole time was what Johnny Weir was going to look like when he was dressed up for the figure skating and doing the commentary. It was he had better clothes than Tara Lipinski did, his partner.
Day, yeah.
Johnny was great, and everybody loved Johnny. So, but I got to admit, I wasn't fixated on a lot of the stuff.
I wasn't either. Trent, do you get into the Winter Olympics at all?
Not much, not much. I watched some of the hockey here and there, but you know, it was. It's nice to see, you know, when two of the top teams around the world is going head-to-head with some of the top players. That's fun to watch, but it was the kind of a downer for USA when they lost to Canada 1-0. Like Patrick said, you know, it was hard for those guys to show up for the bronze game.
You got to give Putin credit. Nobody got blown up. We were all, you know, 3 weeks ago. Oh my God, nobody wanted to go to over there. It was going to be terrible security, and you know, Ukraine is burning, but that's got nothing to do with him. And Sochi is.
Russians,
no terrorists. So.
Russians know how to handle the thing.
Yeah, with an iron fist.
Don't make music videos.
Everybody who covered it, though, all my buddies who covered it loved it. The
good experience.
Accommodations were lousy, but you could walk to all the arenas and everything.
Well, that's nice.
Unless you went up the mountain to watch some of that stuff, but all the arenas were within a mile of where everybody was staying.
It looks like, though, there's a chance you're going to get out of this mortal coil without ever attracting the Winter Olympics to Minneapolis. That was one of those things on your bucket list that you wanted to do.
What's that?
Bring the Winter Olympics to Minneapolis.
Well, years ago, not the Winter Olympics, but Star Tribune, John Coles and Joyce Swan tried to bring the
Summer Games?
Summer Games here.
We lost out to Atlanta, too, and we were, I think...
Well, yeah, that's certainly feasible if Atlanta can get it.
Trent, we've always tried to tell Sid there's one problem with the Winter Olympics, though. You can't have the downhill skiing at Buck Hill. They want a little more drama. It's got to last longer than 18 seconds.
They should have the hockey as a part of the Summer Olympics. And then the National Hockey League wouldn't be hurt. They could have it.
But I think what makes it appealing is now they're going to try to play this August tournament, which isn't... Part of the appeal is you're taking these guys in the middle of their season, when they're at their prime, when they're all played. There's no excuses that it's not, you know, like baseball has the World Baseball Classic, but they got it in March, and the pitchers can't pitch more than 2 innings. And, you know, the great thing about this is, hey, everybody's playing, everybody's ready to roll, and that's what makes it good.
Well, the thing that you realize, though, Trent, when you watch it is, the reason people gravitate to hockey in the Winter Olympics is that you forget there's hardly any team sports in the whole thing. I mean, this is one where you can really...
curling.
Yeah, this and curling. Otherwise, it's all individual. If you like a team sport, the hockey's it.
And also, you get a chance to see the best players in the world. You know, now they get a chance to go head-to-head. And when the USA is playing Canada, you know that you're going to see the best of the best.
Yep. Does this mean that all these other countries have better hockey players than the United States?
Well, they lost to Canada, so Canada probably does. And then the Finland game, they didn't show up and play. But Finland's got a lot of good players. But no, it doesn't mean that. U.S. is number 2 when it comes to producing players for the NHL now. The U.S. is the one that's the threat to Canada to become the big hockey country, I think.
Yeah, for sure. The Dream Team, greatest thing you've ever seen assembled?
92?
Yeah.
Yeah. Without a doubt. Probably the best team I've put together. Yeah, without a doubt.
But it was the first time, too, so it was really special.
I mean, you look at the names that were on that team and the attraction that those guys brought.
So what did Mike Krzyzewski do to him last year? I mean, obviously, they should win the gold every year in the summer, but what do you think he was able to do with his team last year that they did what they were supposed to do?
Get the ball to LeBron James.
Yeah.
But you got to convince somebody.
I covered the Dream Team, and I was in Portland. I went out to San Diego when they were assembled there for 3-4 days. And I was in Portland when they played their first game in that tournament of the Americas that they had to win to qualify. And I think the only time I've ever covered an event where the hair stood up on my arms when those 5 guys walked out on the court together.
You just saw
it was unbelievable. I mean, I
remember Rushmore.
I remember it was bristle. Because all of a sudden there they all were. It was amazing.
We'll talk more about that basketball, hockey, on all the comps. Stay with us, the Sports Show.
You know what else?
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Canterbury Park 24/7 Card Club. Don't forget the Card Club at Canterbury Park. Cambria, makers of quality quartz surfaces. Ticket King. For the best price on tickets anywhere, try Ticket King. Soundpoint Audiology. Life is worth hearing. And Cuisine Concepts. Franklin Street Bakery at 11th and Franklin in South Minneapolis, just down from Mall of America Field. And Taste of the NFL. Proud to be the premier Super Bowl party with a purpose to support hunger relief locally and nationally.
Quality. It's the result of shared values. The joy found in an honest day's work. Respect for true American craftsmanship and the need, not the want, to get things right. It's the result of remembering your roots, being forever humbled by how far you've traveled and forever hungry to push on further. Quality is a result. Quality is who we are. Cambria. Family owned, American made.
Have you ever considered a career in the media arts?
I want to be a graphic designer.
I want to create animations.
I want to be a producer.
I want to code websites.
Minneapolis Media Institute offers a variety of programs, from digital art and design, game art and animation, to recording and music technology.
I can be anything I want to be.
I can be anything I want to be.
Minneapolis Media Institute. Start your future now.
From the family of the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size pickups on the road, the all-new 2014 Chevy Silverado. Beating any Ford F-150 in fuel economy, offering the best pickup coverage in America, and recognized by 49 automotive journalists as the 2014 North American Truck of the Year.
Now use your President's Day allowance to get a total value of over $7 grand on this All-Star Edition that can be yours for around $30,000. Visit ChevyDealOnline.com.
Cleaning away calcium, lime, and rust buildup is cleaner with CLR. It's safe enough to carry the EPA Designed for the Environment label. Yet it has a powerful cleaning formula that you can trust to dissolve tough calcium and lime deposits and surface rust stains quickly and easily. Crusty white buildup on shower heads and hard water stains from coffee pots. Plus, it helps dishwashers and washing machines clean better. Safe, effective CLR. Clean cleaner.
CLR is available at these fine stores.
Audi A4 drivers have spoken. And they rank the A4 highest in total quality index in its class. Experience the new Audi A4 at your local dealer today.
Looking for a nice, big, juicy rack of ribs?
Fabulous chops, huge steaks, and the Buddy Bowl? Then J.D. Hoyt's is the place for you. Hoyt's opened in 1983, and Mike Andrews and his partner John White have kept this Minnesota tradition at the top of the food chain. Managing owner Pat Montague gives us a tour.
At J.D. Hoyt's, enjoy a relaxed atmosphere, great food, friendly service, private dining room, second-to-none happy hour, just blocks from the new ballpark.
Located at 394 in North Washington. Locally owned, nationally known. Hoyt's.
That's where you find guys like Trent Tucker on the Friday night, J.D. Hoyts, where all the important people hang out, and it's because they get great food and great service from Pat. Welcome back.
Maxie, did you ever think that the sports show would be over tonight before the Daytona 500 is over?
My gosh!
It didn't restart until 8 o'clock tonight.
How frustrating was that for you? As you
9 o'clock? I watch it.
You do?
I watch 10 laps. Then I go do something else, and then but when they get to the last 20 laps, I watch because it's crazy. It's crazy, but God, if they go all night,
he's an expert on
if they go all night
NASCAR
tonight,
now.
it'll go till 1 o'clock in the morning.
I know, but they got to get it in, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to do it on Monday.
I covered a few. I enjoyed it. The last one I covered was when Dale died. So.
Really?
Yeah.
A lot of scantily clad women down there watching us?
Not really.
Really?
A lot of women drinking beer and smoking cigarettes.
Okay. Timberwolves are playing as we speak against Portland. What have been your impressions here as they've put together a 3-game streak and Kevin Love throws a triple-double up last night?
Well, you'd like to see more consistency. I mean, and Kevin Love has been unbelievable for sure. We all know that. But it's a team that hasn't shown consistency all year long. You know, they seem to get right to the threshold where you think they're going to make a move, get above 500 and stay above 500, and then they kind of slide back. You know, they lose some games, late in ball games, where you think they had a chance to win.
Why were they so bad in close games?
Well, it's just confidence, lack of execution, you know, having that one go-to guy. But in the last 2 or 3 minutes, they can close the game.
Can't you set Love up to be that go-to guy? I mean, I know he likes to work out a little different.
Double the hell out of him on the stretch.
You know, he's a catch-and-shoot guy. And all of a sudden, now the defense can take away space. You know, they force him now to do something else with the basketball, and he can struggle in certain situations like that. They need a guy that can break down the defense, that can get into the lane and draw 2 or 3 people toward him and then find open shooters when the game is on the line.
They had Pekovic. They'd have won most of the games they lost.
Most of them?
Huh?
Most of them?
Yeah.
The last 11, you mean?
Yeah, I think they'd have won a lot of games with Pekovic.
But you know what? Oklahoma, they play without Westbrook. They played Houston one night without Harden. They played the Lakers without Kobe Bryant. I mean, every team in the league has guys that aren't playing that night.
But this team doesn't have the talent those teams have.
Correct.
Pekovic is so important to this team. Love has gone crazy anyway, but for a while there he was helping Love too. They need him. If they have him, they can win a lot of games.
Get your breath back. Trent, when you had a 1 minute, possession game, obviously Michael Jordan, the featured guy playing in Chicago. Was it that simple? Or tell me what was the timeout like with Phil Jackson? Was it just comfortable to Michael and let him go?
Well, he was designed to play.
At your level?
They would have a conversation about what they wanted to do and what if the defense did certain things here and there, we would respond. I can take you back to the '93 championship game against the Phoenix Suns. We had a play call for Michael, but Phil said if the defense does these things here based on what we're designed to do on the offensive end, someone should get a wide open shot if we move the ball to the right spot at the right time, and that guy was John Paxson.
Nobody plays defense in that league.
The NBA?
I think
what are you talking about?
I think they do.
What are you talking about? You ever watch the Chicago Bulls?
Oh.
You ever watch the Chicago Bulls?
Team. Look at the scores some teams make against them.
They play so much more defense than they did in the 70s. It's not even close.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Not even close.
Yeah, and they're building teams around that more, Trent.
Yeah, well, look at Chicago. And somehow they're going to make the playoffs, and they got 8 guys off the street, and they're just guarding people.
Hey, everybody loved the Eastern Conference in that nation.
Yeah, right.
Well, you have to have guys who can get multiple stops, especially at playoff time when the game is on the line. You need offenses to get you there, but you need someone who can step up and make those timely stops. And when I played for the Bulls, and we had some guys who could do that. Scottie Pippen was one of the best defensive players that I've ever played with.
How good is the talent, do you think, on the Timberwolves?
Well, I think the key guy for them to take the next step, if his game grows where it needs to grow, is Ricky Rubio.
Can he?
Yeah, I think if he can improve his outside game, especially in late ball games, because now he'd have the confidence to step up and knock down those open jump shots. The defense slides under. If he showed that he can make that shot, now the defense has to change and do something different. Now that might allow him to get into the lane to set up guys like Kevin Love and Kevin Martin for easier shots. I think his game has to grow to the next level for this team to take the next step.
Sure, and he needs confidence. What was your take, Patrick? I'm not a big Peter Vesey guy, but I don't know why a guy would wake up and say, well, I'm going to stir the pot in Minnesota.
Well,
what was your take on that?
15 years ago, Peter used to be the man, and now he's just a guy nobody heard of, and I think he's got a vivid imagination. I'm not saying I think he's taking a shot that he ends up being right, and then he looks like a genius, but I'm
just looking for a little attention.
There would be no reason for Love to have already told Flip that he's leaving. There would be no reason for that. So I don't buy it.
That hasn't happened. I think I'm confident Love's going to stay here. I just think he likes the pressure you wouldn't have in New York, the pressure you wouldn't have in L.A. that he doesn't have here.
Well, knowing history and not allowing it to repeat itself, when they had Garnett, Boston did what Minnesota could have done. They got 2 superstars, so why not look at Love as your Garnett and try to find 2 more and do everything you can to bring them in? Well,
you have to have a willing partner. And, you know, Kevin McHale had Danny Ainge. And they were great teammates in Boston.
Kevin McHale.
So they worked very well together. It was a perfect fit, you know, for Boston. You know, they got the right deal at the right time. You know, Kevin Love has been fantastic. And if you can bring someone else in that can help elevate and move this team in the right direction, then they may have a chance to make a playoff run sometime in the future.
You can only afford so many of them, though, too. Yeah. And you already spent $12 million a year on Pekovic.
But and even the Wolves only run those when they did that with Sprewell and Cassell. So, you know, trading a superstar for a bunch of picks and guys never works, it seems like. You never win on that except you get a salary cap.
I always go back to Johan Santana.
That's what I'm saying.
Trade for a difference maker who's 22. Don't trade for 4 guys who might have a chance.
Yeah, it looks really good when you make the trade because none of them, you know.
They always look for numbers. Look for one guy. Clayton Kershaw the Dodgers were interested in Clayton Kershaw, was 20 years old and ripping it up. That's the guy you get and take a shot that he's going to be a star instead of a bunch of garbage.
Yeah, you trade him, you might as well move the franchise.
You mean Love again?
Yeah, well, yeah, but if he's gonna leave,
yeah, unless he's gonna leave, then you gotta do something. Take a break, come back, stay with us.
Attention, please get a pencil. Announcing a hearing breakthrough, a microchip that is so small it can fit on the head of a pen, worn hidden entirely in your ear canal, making you hear clear as a bell, and it's proudly made in the USA. Do you feel left out of conversations? Is it difficult to hear words in noisy environments? Do others say that you listen to the TV or radio too loudly? Do you feel like a bother to others due to your problems hearing? If you answered yes, you may qualify for this new chip in the ear. Only 50 participants are needed to try this microchip, so get a pencil. Call now to see if you qualify. This revolutionary chip actually mimics the natural sound selection of the human ear. With multi-core microprocessors, technology used in the most advanced computers, sounds are analyzed and classified each millisecond, controlling noise and making speech clear. Do not wait. Call now to see if you qualify to wear this revolutionary new microchip.
I have evidence that proves my dad's a space alien. Speaks a weird language. Drinks green stuff. He says he's from Albuquerque. I'm not buying it. I mean, just look at him. And one more thing. He has a spaceship. The evidence doesn't lie. My dad is an alien.
The highly advanced Audi A6, named to car and drivers 10 best. Experience exceptional value on the Audi A6 at your local dealer today.
Stop on by, see Bruce Bonine, Charlie, the whole crew. Perfect time to buy. All seasons, all the time. Audi Minneapolis off of General Mills Boulevard. Welcome back to the show. The Gophers, Richard Pitino said he was going to get up and down and run, and I said all summer that'd be the first coach in the history of the Big Ten that was able to pull that off on a nightly basis. Now they can't even score 50 points in a game lately.
Well, they started out against Ohio State. They had a 10-point lead, and I sat there and watched it. I was just waiting for Ohio State to start.
Well, they did. You weren't disappointed then.
I knew it was going to happen. I knew they had no chance to win the game, even when they were 10 ahead. He doesn't have great talent, and he's not going to beat the good teams. He caught Ohio State at the right time. He caught Wisconsin at the right time, but I have some question that they'll win another game. Penn State, they should beat them, but they're not going to win at Michigan. Michigan took Michigan State apart today. And Iowa's pretty good. But of all the coaches I've seen around for years, that Bo Ryan really impresses me. He doesn't have...
Won again yesterday against Iowa.
Huh?
Won against yesterday.
On the road.
Yeah.
On the road in Iowa City.
Patrick?
And he rallied them, too, because they lost to the Gophers. That was 3 losses in a row. Then they went and got beat at Nebraska. That was 4 losses in a row. And you said, what's wrong with this team? They haven't lost since.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they can beat Iowa Tuesday because Iowa's been very erratic and they haven't been real good on the road. But that's it. That's the season to me right there, don't you think? If they beat Iowa, all of a sudden their RPI rating goes back up. They can get to 8-10, and then if they win a Big Ten tournament game, they can go to the tournament. But they got to beat Iowa. If they lose Tuesday, they're pretty well dead.
I think losing Andre Hollins when they lost him was critical for them. And I don't think he's back at 100%.
He's not the same, is he?
And when you lose your best offensive player, it really hurts your team.
Do you not think, though, that, Trent, you lived it, but in the Big Ten, first-year coach, you'll get away with a few things in the preseason, the beginning, but this second time around, they're just so well scouted. Even Illinois, they get back on defense so well. They make it difficult on you unless you really got good players.
And by saying that, that's where you need to rely on your best player to overcome that. And by not having him, Andre Hollins I'm talking about, at 100% has really hurt this team on the offensive end.
This league, and when you were playing, the league had some great coaches, but they got great coaches now.
They do. I mean, it is hard to win.
I mean, I like Painter, the guy at Illinois, even though he's having a lousy year, everybody says good things about. And
Iowa's been good,
Beeline is
Wisconsin,
terrific.
Michigan State,
The new guy at Iowa's good. They got good coaches.
What were you going to say?
Well, I don't think beating Iowa will get them there because they're going to lose to Michigan. They're not going to beat them. But if they do, sometimes the Big Ten gets 6 teams in the
6 or 7. Yeah. They get 7.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, Duke finally beat Syracuse and they knocked it off.
Jim Boeheim lost his...
You weren't too happy at the end of the game.
He came unglued.
Welcome to the ACC. Welcome to the ACC.
Welcome to Cameron Arena.
Minnesota doesn't have a player that'll make the first or second All-Big Ten team.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, DeAndre Matthews is close.
He'll be an honorable mention.
Up and down, up and down. You never know what he's...
But I mean,
if they didn't have him, they'd be 3-12.
Yeah. In fact, I blame him for losing that Illinois game. He takes the guy out with 2 fouls when they're 14-3.
You blame the coach, you mean, not Matthews.
And all of a sudden, Illinois starts going crazy. You put him back in the game.
You like that 2 foul and a half, and you sit the rest of the half?
Well, you have to. I mean, that's just the way it is, because you cannot afford for him to pick up a cheap 3rd foul. Because now he can't be aggressive on the defensive end. He's cautious, and all of a sudden now the other team is going to take advantage of that. They're going to go right at him trying to see if they can pick up that 3rd foul. It's a good move by the coach to take advantage of that time.
When the team is coming back, Illinois is coming back, and they can't score without him in a game, you put him back in. And he's the one guy that helps them win some games.
I'll tell you what's killed him lately is Malik Smith went cold. Shooters have a tendency to do. He's having, Northwestern, the Lumpkin kid did a hell of a job on him defensively. Got him out of his thing, and he's only had 1 good game in the last 5. And that loosens things up if he's making 5 out of 8 from 3.
Since he shot the lights out against Nebraska, again, I get back to this. Now then people shade him different, and all of a sudden... You better make an adjustment because that's the league.
Well, and when a shooter begins to struggle, the one thing you hope he doesn't do is begin to take bad shots to try to find his rhythm.
Yeah, that's what he looks like he's doing.
If you can get him a layup, get him to the free throw line, once he sees the ball goes in the basket again, now his confidence begins to change. But if you stay out there and shoot 3-point shot after 3-point shot and the ball's not going in, your confidence is not going up.
I've always wanted to ask you this. Your senior year, how many jump shots did you take that wouldn't have been 3s?
Not many.
In today's game. Maybe a layup or 2, but you might have taken 5, 9 3s as a senior.
4-pointers.
If you guys could go on a free shopping spree anywhere, where would you go? I'd go to the grocery store. Pizza, ice cream. I'd go shop for clothes. You know where I go? I go to Ticket King. Ticket King! At Ticket King, you can buy great seats for the Vikings, Christian Ponder, the Wild, Zach Parise, the Timberwolves, Ricky Rubio, and of course the Twins. We love the Twins. Yep, this is where I go. Vikings, Twins, Wild, Timberwolves, Gophers, theater, and concerts too. Justin Bieber! Hey, I like him first. For details, go to ticketkingonline.com. Any ticket, anytime, anywhere. It's the real thing. It's Ticket King. Right, Dad?
Couldn't have said it any better myself.
That's for sure.
I'm Michelle Tafoya, and once again, Taste of the NFL was the hottest ticket at the Super Bowl. Thank you for joining us as we came together to deliver a successful Taste of the NFL at the Super Bowl. The money we raised means a lot. For every $1, 8 meals are provided. Thank you, Brooklyn, and thank you all for joining us at our annual Party with a Purpose, the Taste of the NFL, where food, football, and fun take a bite out of hunger in America.
There it is. Take a look. It says it all. Taste of the NFL. Look them up on the web. Wayne Kostrowski doing some great things all the time. What a Super Bowl and much more year-round. Just look them up on Taste of the NFL to find out more. Welcome back to the show. City, the Minnesota Twins have opened spring training. I don't sense that you're any more optimistic today than you were 2 weeks ago.
I was a little upset they didn't sign that Cruz.
He signed with Baltimore for $8 million, huh?
$8 million. They got an $80 million payroll. $8 million wouldn't mean a lot. How they got to get somebody can help them score some runs, and he would have been a very good addition. How come they didn't sign him? Maybe his character. Maybe that's the reason.
Maybe he didn't want to come here.
Maybe he wanted to go to Baltimore and not freeze to death. I don't know, but it is funny. We're feeling sorry for all these Irv Santana, Nelson Cruz, who am I missing? There's about 3 of them have been waiting. Oh, Stephen Drew, because they have that compensation pick attached to them.
Yep.
And so they haven't been getting offers. Well, boys, they did offer you $14 million to sign for 1 year. It cost you $14 million to get the compensation pick. So they all could have taken $14 million for 1 season. Tried it again the next time.
What do you think the Twins are done? Is there anything left they could add?
I don't think so. I don't know what they're going to do, but they're not going to take Drew. They don't want Drew. They're not going to give up a second rounder for him.
Some other guys out there?
Well, Drew and Irv Santana are the only two. Kendrys Morales too, but they're not going to take him. I think this is what we got as far as a lineup.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll make a trade, but I don't think they'll sign anybody.
You can't do a lot. The Wild, are you happy with them coming back now from the break or not? What's your gut tell you?
He's a hockey expert.
Me?
I don't know.
You're the first guy to accuse me of being a hockey.
You should talk hockey at some juncture tonight.
I do less.
You heard that, an admission from Sid Hartman.
How about our U.S. women's team?
Losing, you mean?
Blowing a 2-goal lead in the last 3.5 minutes.
That was a heck of a way to lose.
We all got to say nice things about it. 40 years after Title IX, can't we criticize a women's team once in a while?
You cannot.
40 years, 1972.
Yep, you can't.
Why were people upset that we ran those pictures on page 1?
Of what?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Get out of here. Brian?
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Canterbury Park 24/7 Card Club. Don't forget the Card Club at Canterbury Park. Cambria, makers of quality quart surfaces. Ticket King. For the best price on tickets anywhere, try Ticket King. Soundpoint Audiology. Life is worth hearing. And Cuisine Concepts. Franklin Street Bakery at 11th and Franklin in South Minneapolis, just down from Mall of America Field. And Taste of the NFL. Proud to be the premier Super Bowl party with a purpose to support hunger relief locally and nationally.